This is April Schultheis, using the computer to generate this message. Are you pushed backwards, no matter what, over and over? Every time you work to move up, are you pushed down, and even way down, and stepped on worse, and practically spat upon? And are you blamed for it? It's probably not you. It could be secret societies. Let me tell you what happened to me. When I was about 11, I used to babysit for $1 an hour. Sometimes I wasn't paid, but I did get around $1 the rest of the time. I was paying for my school clothes and saving money for college. I continued babysitting into my teens, and even into my early adulthood, and I was still only paid $1 an hour. Everyone conspired to keep it that way. Now, let me explain something. I was a straight A student. I was valedictorian. I knew how to type. I had business skills. I was excellent at math, yet I could not get a job at a bank, and I had a really hard time getting a job as a secretary. Finally, I got a job as a secretary that no one else wanted, and around the same time, I got hired out of a computer class, with everyone else who applied for the job, to create a computer database. Then I clung to those jobs to try to pay my way through college. I earned a bachelor's degree, and found no one would hire me for anything but secretarial, or clerical, or billing, or receptionist work, all of which I had done in high school. Eventually, by taking a part-time job, I found a full-time job as a graphic artist. But, to put it very mildly, I was persecuted completely out of that job, and knocked back down to clerical. Then I eventually got put into a job in which I had to work very late hours for free, and the nominal raise I was promised didn't come. I had to get my supervisor involved in questioning HR as to what happened, while co-workers without a degree enjoyed mocking me and snarking at me. Then I earned a master's degree. Again, I was attacked financially over that, and I never moved up. My goal was to get full-time work, and all I ever got was extra part-time work, so I was forced for years to work 2 or 3 jobs, a full-time job and additional part-time jobs. And in my full-time job, I was being worked out of my classification, and forced to do other people's work, without the proper tools. This went on for years. I finally had to give up the part-time jobs because it was too much. But more than 20 years after I moved out of secretarial, they knocked me down to secretary again. Yes, it was done to me, a straight A student, with a master's degree, with a lot of highly sought-out skills, with years of valuable experience, including web production and PR writing. They took my tools away from me, and blocked me repeatedly, and yet I still found ways to use old software, and was generally doing a better job than numerous co-workers. For example, I knew how to create an organizational chart, and I could make all kinds of charts in Excel or in graphic programs like InDesign. This was a highly sought-out skill, but it was mostly ignored, and never rewarded. Then they tried to remove me entirely, exposing me to COVID and denying my sick leave. I had more than 6 months accrued, and at least 4 months of vacation, by my estimation, and I had pre-worked a full week of holiday time. They cut my health care coverage, they cut my sick pay entirely, and they blocked my 403(b) money. They wanted to eliminate me, permanently. I was denied a proper performance review 2 years before this. It was all planned. Now here's where you have to notice the source of the problem is government, education, religion, and business in a vast network of secret societies in secret combinations. Right at this time, my bank office was moved so it was no longer within walking distance. I needed a car, and then my car was repeatedly sabotaged, and then my bank account was drained before I could do anything about it. My retirement funds were blocked and delayed for an extended length of time, and I found out later that my employer gets my retirement funds if I die. You do the math. 2 + 2 = 4. Open attempts on my life happened right before I reached early retirement age, and I found out my employer gets my retirement if I die. It's obvious who gained from this. Now, it gets worse. You think, how could it get worse? But it does. Now there is a scheme to make me babysit for free, because, after all, I'm retired. The reality is, though, I'm an adult. I have more responsibilities than I did when I was 11, and yet they want to knock me all the way down to babysitter, and make me worse off, not even $1 an hour, but make me babysit for free. It's already been done to me before, years ago, under the excuse that my pay and work hours were cut, so I had time to babysit, and I was coerced into babysitting for free, for people from church, and I was essentially babysitting for free at church, too. It's not me, it's them. Yes, this is being done by people in secret societies. They're in secret societies, and I caught a man from church and work using witchcraft to claim he was the Lord on the astral plane. He pursued me for years. There was a sexual agenda involved. I refused. I'm a virgin. The man was married. It's adultery. But he kept up the persecution on the astral plane, and the bullying at work, and the manipulation at church. I finally found out it was humans using black occultism. Yes, it was the dark arts, witchcraft. I had been trying to drive the Lord off with scripture for some years. I stepped up my efforts when I found out he was human, and the attack was coming from human beings. I started reading scriptures all the time, and I even learned a little Hebrew for exorcism. All hell broke loose. Everyone, and I mean everyone, helped my assailant. It's not supernatural. It's numerous people in secret societies, using the astral plane, to control and manipulate your thoughts and beliefs. They use hypnosis, and call it science of the mind. The German Gestalt is not some psychobabble, but a very real area, exploited scientifically for gain, and they use force to back it up. Now, you look at your own life. Have you been knocked down repeatedly? It's probably not you. It's probably unscrupulous predators in secret societies. This is Rome. Rome invaded Native America, and forced indigenous peoples into slavery, and practiced genocide against the native tribes. And Rome is supported by secret societies, and their secret is hypnosis. Rome is ruthless. Native American peoples have suffered under Rome through widespread elimination and assimilation. Genocide is always wrong, always. I grew up in the Grey Eagle, California area. I was told the indigenous peoples simply moved on when the railroad came to Portola. Now I'm sure the truth is something awful. Be warned, the realm of thought is real. Fight back. Practice psychic self-defense. Do not have sex. Do not eat meat. Read the Bible. Respect all life. The scriptures say, Israel shall do valiantly. Be of good courage, and let us behave ourselves valiantly for our people, and for the cities of our God, and let the Lord do that which is good in his sight.